So, good day everyone. So, my topic for today is scheduling operation. So, next is overview. Scheduling involves determining the timing of the use of equipment, facilities, and human activities in an organization. It applies across various industries and services like manufacturing, hospitals, schools, and services providers. Effective scheduling ensures cost savings, productivity, and competitive advantages such as better customer service. Importance of scheduling. Scheduling optimizes resources utilization and minimizes dependencies and disruptions like weather. In organizations, scheduling decisions must work within systems constraints established by design and operational decision. So, ang naka-importante diyan yung sa scheduling kay kana maka-minimize the cost and delays like para itong equal like example niya kana sa airlines. And next is objectives of scheduling. Balancing conflicting goals such as minimizing customer waiting time, inventory, and process times while maximizing equipment and labor use. Hierarchies in scheduling. Manufacturing involves aggregate planning, master production, schedules, materials, requirements, planning, and shop floor schedules. Services focuses on master schedules, weekly schedules, and daily adjustment to handle variability. Scheduling in different systems. High volume system. Flow system. Characterized by standardized operation and high repetition, auto manufacturing, fast food news broadcast goals, smooth workflow to maximize labor and equipment data. So, scheduling in different systems. High volume systems or flow systems characterized by standardized operations and high repetition, auto manufacturing, fast food news broadcast goals, smooth workflow to minimize labor and equipment utilization. Use of the balancing techniques to equalize workstation loads, challenges working monotony. Scheduling for product variety. Car models with different features. Handling disruptions with like equipment failure or material shortage. Success factors include preventive maintenance, reliable supply chains, minimizing quality issues. And intermediate volume system. Produce standard products in batches like canned goods or cosmetics. Low volume systems, job shops. Customize production with varying job requirements, custom furniture or specialty repairs. Challenges in scheduling. Disruptions, equipment failures, absenteeism or material shortage, efficiency trade-offs, balancing high production rates with reduced downtime and worker satisfaction. And last is benefits of effecting schedule. Hospitals improve patient with care and resource use, education, efficient classroom and resource allocation, and last is business, improve customer services and reduce operation costs. And that's all.
Okay.
So let's continue.
Yo.
So challenges in job shop scheduling. So custom orders, each order differs in processing time, materials, and sequence. Scheduling complexity difficult to plan ahead as job specific load only after orders are received. So next is loading in job shops. Assigning jobs to specific work centers and machines. Objective minimize setup cost, idle time, and job completion time. Challenges, multiple works centers may be capable of performing similar tasks requiring careful job allocation. The next, Gantt charts for scheduling. So, familiar naman tayo sa chart naman. So, Gantt chart, visual tools for organizing and displaying schedules, time scales on the horizontal axis, resources listed vertical works on the machines used for scheduling, transport, radios, etc. So, next is Gantt chart scheduling. So, there are types. Load chart. So, load chart, display machine or department loading and idle time. So, next type is schedule chart. Shows the status of jobs and their scheduled progress. So, infinite versus finite loading. Finite loading. Infinite loading, assigning jobs without considering capacity which can lead to overloading. So, ang galing infinite loading, kaya mga siya ay jobs na consider sa capacity at can lead to overloading siya. So, finite loading takes capacity into account, ensuring work centers are not overloaded. So, anong finite loading kay take siya capacity sa among account na ensures sa yung work centers na dili siya overloaded. So, result of infinite loading requires adjusting to prevent overload. So, next is the forward versus backward scheduling. So, forward scheduling jobs ahead from the current time, focusing in completion time. So, ang kaning forward scheduling di ay mga boss kay ang kaning forward scheduling kay ahead from the current time. So, focus siya sa imong completion time. So, backwards scheduling is scheduling jobs from the due date determining the latest start time to meet deadline. So, ating backward scheduling kay determine siya sa latest start time to meet deadlines. So, application is forward scheduling for earliest completion and backward scheduling for deadline management. So, next is monitoring progress with schedule charts. So, schedule charts show plan versus actual progress, helping manager track job status. So, ano yung schedule charts? Ito rin yung makita ang schedule, plans, ang mga progress sa iyong mga job. Example, landscaping job progress chart showing plan versus actual start finish time for task. So, ang example niya landscaping job. So, next is the input and output control. We're familiarized about this word, the input and output. So, input and output control, monitoring workflow and work center, balance incoming work and available capacity. So, ang input and output control mo kay monitor sa imong workflow. So, kung wala siya, di ka mag-monitor, dili mabalansi ang imong buhat sa imong trabaho. So, objective, avoid overloads and underutilization of work centers by managing use. So next is the conclusion. So conclusion, effective scheduling. Critical and low volume system to ensure efficient use of resource, minimize delays and meet deadlines. Tools, mga sunod niya, Gantt charts, load charts, schedule charts, and input and output control help in managing and adjusting schedule as needed. That will be all and you.
So the topic is input or output control. So control refers to monitoring the workflow and queue lengths at work centers. The purpose of 1/0 control is to manage workflow so that queues and waiting times are kept under control. Without 1/0 control, demand may exceed processing capacity, causing an overload at a center. So input ko no, mao di siya mga like mga other ingredients to a process. They not only include the raw materials but also the actions that have to be performed to transform the raw materials. So next is output. So output is if you were running a company, whatever it is that you sell to your customer is output. So next is a simple input-output report for a work center showing input and output in hours of processing time. So this table, like sa plan, actual, divisions, and count division. So naay table diri, so naa diri ang 100, 120, sa period 2 is 195, 90, 80, 90, 88, 90, 93, and 1994. So ang division nga nung nakuha na ang plus 20. So mao ni siya ang answer. So 100 minus 120, so positive 20. Next is 100 minus 95 is negative 5. Next is 90 minus 80 is negative 10. So next is 90 minus 88 is negative 2. Next is 90 minus 93 is positive 3. 90 is minus 94 is positive 4. So ang kaning commutative divisions kay mo ni siya ang gikapira ang positive 20. So positive 20 minus 5 equals positive 15. So next is 15 minus 10 equals 5. Positive 5. Next is 5 minus 2 equals positive 3. Positive 3 plus 3 equals 6. 6 plus 4 equals 10. So mo na siya ang input. Mo na ang So mo tong input, mo na ang pag total. So next is about output. So this table, so unsa ang pag total sa plan, actual, division, and count division. So this table is ang kaning 110 minus 110 equals 0. 110 minus 105 equals negative 5. 100 minus 95 equals negative 5. 100 minus 101 equals positive 1. 100 minus 103 equals positive 3. 95 minus 96 equals positive 1. So, unsaon ang count division nga nung na negative 5 siya. So kaning division copy lang na sa count division. So 0 minus negative 5 equals negative 5. Negative 5 minus negative 5 equals negative 10. Negative 10 minus plus 1 equals negative 9. Negative 9 plus 3 equals negative 6. Negative 6 plus 1 equals negative 5. So, mo na siya ang pagtotal sa output. Next is a backlog. So, mo na siya ang backlog is 40 plus and 50, 40, 25, 12 to 0. So, next page is of 120 hours produces a division of plus 20 hours. Similarly, in the first period, the plan and the actual outputs are equal, producing a division of 0 hours. So the backlog for each period is determined by subtracting the actual output from the actual input and adjusting the backlog from the previous period by the amount. For example, in the second period, actual output exceeds actual input by 10 hours. Hence, previous block of 50 hours is reduced by 10 hours to 40 hours. And next is a topic is assignment method of linear programming. So the amiguement model is a special purpose linear programming model that useful in situations that call for assigning tasks or other work requirements to resources. So, mo ni siya ang examples sa assignment method of linear programming. So, these examples of balanced assignment problem. We have the check of given problem, balance or unbalanced. These rows is equal to the number of columns, then the problem is said to be a balanced assignment problem. Are not equal, then it is an unbalanced assignment problem, and 4 columns, so this is a balanced assignment problem. Now, we have to follow the Hungarian method in order to solve this problem. We have to do the row reduction, that is, we have to subtract the minimum entry each row from all the entries of the respective row in the contramatrix. Now, if we see in this problem in the first row, the minimum elements is 10. We have subtract 10. So, from all the elements of the first row, so 10 minus 10 will be 0. 10 minus 12 equals 2. 10 minus 19 equals 9. 10 minus 1 equals 1. From second row is 5. Subtract of these elements of this row. 5 minus 5 equals 0. 5 minus 10 equals 5. 5 minus 7 equals 2. 5 minus 8 equals 3. So, subtract of 11 of all elements. 12 minus 11 equals 1. Next is 14 minus 11 equals 3. 13 minus 11 equals 2. 11 minus 11 equals 0. 8 minus 8 equals 0. 8 minus 12 equals 4. 8 minus 11 equals 3. 8 minus 9 equals 1. So, first column sa step 1, kay mao na siya i-kuan ang 0, 0, 1, and 0. So, first is copy na to ang 0, 0, 1, and 0 sa step 2. Next column is 2. So, 2 is minus and og 5. So, next is 2 minus 2 equals 0. 2 minus 5 equals 3. 2 minus 3 equals 1. 2 minus 4 equals 2. So, i-minus na to og 2. So, 9 minus 2 equals 7. 2 minus 2 equals 0. 2 minus 2 equals 0. 2 minus 3 equals 1. This last column, kay ato na siya i-copy. 1, 3, 0, 1. So, this row is, so ato unahon ang second to the last. So, ang kanang first row, so first row kanang 2 ka 0. So, ang kanang first, so ato na siya ibutangan og X. So, atong unahon ang 0 sa second last. So, ang D ato siya so mao na siya ang una nato imoag box. So, unahon na to ang last to first. So, first is a 0 and box, and next is a C. So, first row sa ABC. So, mao na siya ang kanang kuan. So, ang kanang B ug A 2 ka 0 mao na siya to X. So, next is kanang sa A column. So, X na to siya kay mao na siya ang first row. If same first row of 2 ka 0, dapat na to EX sa ato ang first row. So, next is a B equals ang 0 is and box. Next is C is, so first row sa sunod sa 1 is X. Next is 0. So, all this, so this the assign of the table. So, this column, so submission conclude the problem by calculating the total minimum cost. So, A and B, C and D. So, next is 2. B equals 3, C equals 4, D equals 1. Next is totals of this column of step 1. So sa 0 equal is 12. Number 12. Next is B equals 7. Next is C equals 11. We have cost is 12, 7, 11. So, and the last one is 8. So, atay total sa 12, 7, 11, 8. So equals 38 of cost.
Now we're going to talk about sequencing. So of course, first things first, let us first define what is sequencing. So sequencing is the process of organizing tasks or activities in a specific order to improve efficiency and effectiveness. So when we say sequencing, it is the order of tasks or job or activities, ang pagkasunod-sunod. Sequencing is concerned with determining job processing order. Sequencing decisions determine both the order in which jobs are processed at various work centers and the order in which jobs are processed at individual workstation within the work centers. So, ang sequencing is of course concerned na siya sa pag-determine sa job processing order. Ang pagkasunod-sunod yun sa kanang proseso. Typically, the number of jobs will be waiting for processing. Priority rules are simple heuristic used to select the orders in which the jobs will be processed. So when we say heuristic, it means problem solving. So there are some of the most common priority rules. So first is the first come, first served, or the FCFS. So jobs are processed in the order in which they arrived at the machine or work center. So first come, first served is very common na sa ato as. Next is the shortest processing time. So, or the SPT. So jobs are processed according to processing time at a machine or work centers. Shortest job first. So when we say shortest processing time, kung asa to'y mas una or mas dali mahuman, mao to'y unahon. So mao na siya ang shortest processing time. So next is the earliest due date. So jobs are processed according to due date. Earliest due date first. So it is one of the most common no, in which it is makita rasad nato. So next is we have the critical ratio. So or the CR. Jobs are processed according to the smallest ratio of time remaining until due date to processing time remaining. Next is we have the slack per operation or the SO. So jobs are processed according to average slack time. So slack time means the time until due date minus the remaining time to process. So lastly is the rush. So emergency or preferred customers first. So when we say rush, dinalian. So the rules generally rest on the assumption that job setup cost and time are independent of processing sequence. In using these rules, job processing times and due dates are important pieces of information. Next, the effectiveness of any given sequence is frequently judged in terms of one or more performance measures. So the most frequently used performance measures are, first is job flow time. So it is the amount of time it takes from when a job arrives until it is complete. So it includes not only actual processing time but also any waiting time to be processed, transportation time between operations, and any waiting time related to equipment breakdowns, unavailable parts, quality problems, and so on. So second is the job lateness. So it is the amount of time the job completion date is expected to exceed the date the job was due or promised to a customer.
If only differences for jobs with completion times that exceed due dates are recorded and zeros are assigned to jobs that are early, the term used is job tardiness.
Of course, it is very much understandable that when we say job lateness, ang pagka-late. So next is make span. So it is the total time needed to complete a group of jobs. So it is the length of time between the start of the first job in the group and the completion of the last in the group. So job flow time is ang amount of time sa imong paghimo. While ang make span is kung pila lang ang amount of time na kinahanglan para mahuman na ang certain task or activity. So now we have the average number of jobs. So jobs that are in a shop are considered to be work in process inventory. So the average work in process for a group of jobs can be computed using the following formula. Average number of jobs is equals to total flow time divided by make span. So if the jobs represent equal amounts of inventory, the average number of jobs will also reflect the average work in process inventory.
Okay, so let's take a look with these examples. We have the columns for job, processing time, flow time, due date,
And lastly is the days tardy or the job lateness. So we will be having the given for the job sequence A, B, C, D, E, and F. And we also have the given for the process time, which are 2, 8, 4, 10, 5, and 12. So now we're going to compute for the flow time. So for the flow time, let's just copy the first processing time of the first job added by the processing time of the second job. So 2 plus 8 is 10, and 10 plus 4 is 14. 14 plus 10 is 24. And 24 plus 5 is 29. And lastly, 29 plus 12 is 41. So another given in this example is the due date. So we have 7, 16, 4, 17, 15, and 18. So now, to calculate the days tardy, we're going to subtract due date from flow time, or flow time minus due date. And please take note that there is no negative answer here. So if the answer is negative, just put 0, like this one. So 2 minus 7 is negative 5, so let's just put 0. 10 minus 16 is negative 6, so let's just put 0. And then 14 minus 4 is 10. And 24 minus 17 is 7. 29 minus 15 is 14. And 41 minus 18 is 23. So now let's total or sum it up, all the variables. So for the process time, we have 41. For the flow time, we have 120. And for the days tardy, we have 54. So now that we have this data or information, we can now calculate for the average flow time. It is average flow time is equals to the total flow time divided by the number of jobs. So now let's substitute the formula. So for the total flow time, we have 120 over the number of jobs. So we have 6. So over 6. So 120 divided by 6, we have 20 days. So now, let's calculate for the average tardiness. So for the formula, we have the average tardiness is equals to the total days tardy divided by the number of jobs. So let us now substitute the formula. So the total days tardy is 54 divided by the number of jobs, which is 6. So 54 divided by 6 is 9. So the average tardiness is 9 days. So now that we have the make span, which is the total of the processing time, which is 41 days, we can now calculate for the average number of jobs at the work center. So the formula is average number of jobs at the work center is equals to total flow time divided by the total processing time. So now let's substitute the formula. We have the total flow time, which is 120, and the total processing time, we have 41. So that is 41, not 40. So the answer is 2.93. So the first come, first serve job sequence is simply A, B, C, D, E, and F. So that is for our first come, first serve priority rule. So now let's move on to the second priority rule, which is the shortest processing time. So for this priority rule, which is the SPT. So we'll just copy the columns. So in this area, instead of just simply writing the sequence just like what we did at the first come first serve, let us rearrange the sequence according to its processing time, so in ascending order. So the first one who has the shortest processing time is the job sequence A, followed by C, E, B, D, and F. So now let's have their corresponding processing time. We have 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, and 12. So for the float time, we're still gonna have to repeat what we have done before. So let's copy the 2 added by the second processing time, which is 4. So we have 6, and then 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 plus 8 is 19, and 19 plus 10 is 29, and 29 plus 12 is 41. And we also have the given due date, which are 7, 4, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And for the day's tardy, again, let us subtract due date from float time. And always remember that for the negative answer, you can only put 0. There is no such negative answer here. So we have 2 minus 7 is negative 5, so we have 0, and so on and so forth. So that is how we're going to get for the day's tardy. And now let's have that total. So for our total processing time, we have 41. And then for our float time, we have 108. And for our day's tardy, we only now have 40. So as you can see, the difference, before we have the float time of 120, and now we only have 108. So now we can compute for the average float time. So again, we have the formula. The average flow time is equal to total flow time and the number of jobs. So let's substitute, which is 108 over the number of jobs, which is 6. So we have the average flow time, which is 18 days. And now let's have the average tardiness is equals to the total days tardy over the number of jobs. So let's substitute its value. So we have the total days tardy, which is 40, divided by the number of jobs, which is 6. So the answer is 6.67 days. So now let's have the average number of jobs at work center. We now have the formula, which is the total flow time divided by the total processing time. So we have the value of the total flow time, which is 108, divided by the total processing time, which is 41, so we have 2.63. So now the job sequence for the shortest processing time, or SPT rule, is A, C, E, D, or B, D, and F. So now for the earliest due date, we still have the same columns and variables. So let's rearrange the job sequence according to the earliest due date in ascending order. So now we have the job sequence C, A, E, B, D, and F. So C is the job that has the earliest due date, and F was the longest job who has the longest due date. So now let's again put its processing time, calculate its flow time, and for its due date, as you can see, it is arranged in ascending order, so from the earliest due date until the last. So now let's have the days tardy. So again, for the days tardy, you have to subtract due date from flow time. So for the negative answer, just put 0. And also don't forget to total it all. So now let's compute for the average flow time of the earliest due date. So we have the formula total flow time divided by the number of jobs. So we have 18.33 days. And for the average tardiness, we have the total days tardy, which is 38 divided by the number of jobs, which is 6. So we now have 6.33 days. And now for the average number of job at the work center, so we have the total flow time over the total processing time. So 110 divided by 41, we have 2.68. And now for the sequence of the earliest due date rule, we have C, A, E, B, D, and F. So now let's have the critical ratio. So for the critical ratio, we don't have to calculate for the flow time. We only need to calculate for its critical ratio. So let's put again the job sequence that is being given, which is A, B, C, D, E, and F, and its corresponding processing time and due date. So for the critical ratio calculation, let us just put the due date minus the starting day or the days that has been completed. So in the first, we have 0 divided by the processing time. So 7 minus 0 divided by 2 is 3.5. So next is for the job sequence number 2, we have the due date of 16 minus 0, which is the completed date or days, divided by 8, so we have 2. And next for the job sequence C, so we have the due date of 4 minus 0 divided by its processing time, which is 4, so we have 1.0 or 1. And just continue until the last job. So now that we have calculated the critical ratio of those job sequence, let's now look for the lowest. So we have the job C, so it has the lowest critical ratio. So we can now conclude that at day 4, so that is the processing time of job C, so at day 4, job C is completed or job C completed at day 4. So now, for the second table, we can now eliminate job C since it has been completed at day 4. So we have that processing time and its corresponding due date. So now for the critical ratio calculation, we will now subtract the days completed to the due date divided by the processing time. So as we have seen that at day 4 we already have the job completed, which is C. So let's have 7 minus 4 divided by 2, which is the processing time, is 1.5. And let's continue, which is 16 minus 4 divided by 8 is 1.5 also. So let's eliminate job C. Now let's proceed to job D. So 17 minus 4 divided by 10, which is the processing time, is equals to 1.3. So continue the process until the last job, and after the calculation, always look for the lowest. So we have 1.17. So job F will be eliminated in the next table. So therefore, we can conclude that at day 4 plus the processing time of the job F, which is the lowest on the second table, so 4 plus 12 is 16. So therefore, at day 16, job C and F completed. So let us just repeat the process. So for the critical ratio of the third table, we have the due date minus the completed time divided by the processing time. So we have 7 minus 16 divided by 2, so we have negative 4.5. And then 16 minus 16 divided by 8, so we have 0. And don't forget to eliminate those jobs that has been completed until you finish for the last job. So for the lowest, we have the negative 4.5. So therefore, we can conclude that at day 16 plus the processing time of the lowest critical ratio, we have 2. Therefore, at day 18, job C, F, and A completed. So let us just repeat the process all over again. So we have the due date minus the days completed, which is 18 divided by the processing time. So we have 16 minus 18 divided by 8. So we have negative 0.23. And don't forget to eliminate those jobs that has been completed. And our next lowest critical ratio is the job E. So therefore, we can conclude that at day 18 plus the processing time, which is 5, so at day 23, job C, F, A, and E completed. So now let's move on to the last table. See, we only now have 2 jobs left. So we have the 16 minus the days completed, which is 23 divided by the processing time. So we have negative 0.875, and 17 minus 23 divided by 10. So we have negative 0.60. So now for the lowest, we have the negative 0.875. So at this part, we can now conclude that the sequence for the critical ratio is C, F, A, E, B, and D.
Good morning, sir. I am Ana Maria. This is my contribution report, which is sequencing through over center. Johnson rule, a technique that managers can use to minimize the max span for a group of jobs to be processed on 2 machines or at a 2 successive work center. So, kung gusto ang Johnson rule kay kanang usa siya ka-schedule method in which minimize ang time or ang goal niya is to reduce the idle time. So second, the sequence is determined by following the step. Select the job with the shortest time. If the shortest time is at first work center, schedule the job first. If the time is a second work center, schedule the job last. So, musulik sa kaning first na kuan sa iyang sequence kay musulik ang job with the shortest time. If ang shortest time daw no kung maguna first work center kay kadang ako try is schedule sa first. If ang time kung ano kanang may kuan siya second work center, ako try is schedule sa last. Next, 2 is eliminate the job and it's time for further consideration. So ang third niya, repeat step 1 and 2, working toward the center of the sequence until all job have been scheduled. So unsay kanang sa schedule sa kanang 1 o 2 ato siya i-repeat ra siya. A group of 6 jobs to be processed through a 2 machine flow show. The first operation involves cleaning and the second involves painting. Determine a sequence that will minimize the total completion time for this group of job. Processing time as follows. So as you can see, natay processing time. So R siya, natay job A to F. Kaya nakabutang diri kay 6 job. So mabuta tag A to F. Ang work center tay work center 1, nakatay work center 2. So atong job, ang job A kay kanang ang work center 1 kay 5, ang work center 2 kay 5. Di ang B sa job 1 kay ang work center 1 kay 4, di ang work center 2 kay 3. Di ang job C kay ang work center 1 niya kay 8, di ang work center 2 niya kay 9. So ang job D kay ang work center 2 niya o ang 1 niya I mean 1, di ang work center 2 niya kay 7. So ang sa job A kay ang work center 1 niya kay 6, divide ang work center 2 kay 8. Then ang last kay ang job F kay ang work center 1 kay 12 while ang work center 2 kay 15. So to employ a Johnson rule, create a blank sequence first as so as you can see kanang kuan kay natay blank dara kanang so ang natay mga blank then ang kuan kay 1 to 6. So A, select the job with the shortest time processing time. This is a job D with a time of 2 hours. So mato siya ang processing time at shortest time. So natako diri ang job D. So sa B, since the time is at the first center, schedule job D first. Eliminate job D for the further consideration. So as you can see the kanang box kay na siya box ang kabuok 1 to 6. So ang diri ang kanang ang job D kay naso siya sa first. Next is C. Job B has a next shortened time. Since it is a second work center, schedule it last and eliminate job B for further explanation. So we now have sa atong ika-C kay natay nakita kung dira kanang ka box. So first kay pagmanto na ato nasud ang D. Kay pag-abot sa kanang ang kuan ang job B kay nasud siya sa pinaka-last na box itong 6. So next is D. The remaining job other times are. So ato na remaining job dire kay ang kuan na ngay ang job A, o job C, o job E, o job F, ano siya itong remaining job. Note that there is a time for a shortening time remaining time. Job E has the same time at each work center. So ang job ang job A kay kanang same na siya sa oras, same time na siya sa each work center. While it makes no difference, wala siya kalahian. Then, whether we place it toward the beginning or at the end of the sequence, suppose it is placed arbitrarily toward the end. So we now have, so as you can see at the kanang pick as a picture kay natay 6 box. Nasulat dito ang first kay mo to dire, nasulat ang first kay ang D. Ang pag-second kay wala pa siya kanang job, ang third wala pa siya job, ang fourth wala pa siya job. So pag-abot sa 5th ug 6, nasulat ang job mo to ang 5th kay nasulat ang job A, ang 6 kay nasulat ang job B. Next is C. The shortest remaining time is 6 hours for job A as at work center 1. Those schedule that job toward the beginning of the sequence after job D. So ato no kanang isud ang job A sa kanang work center 1. So as you can see at the kanang box kay natay unong ka box no. Kanang 1 to 6. So ang job A kay nasud siya sa second na box. And sa F, job C has a shorted time of the remaining 2 job. Since it is a first work center, place it in a sequence. Finally, assign the remaining job F the 4th position at the result is. So, marito siya. Kaya itong job F kay nasod na ang unong ka box kani. Nasula na to. Nasula diri ang kanang job C sa napuno na diri sa third na column. So, G, construct a Gantt chart to reveal flow time and idle time information. Be very careful not to schedule at the beginning at the work center 2 before at work center 1 have been completed for any given job. Traditionally, it is assumed that center 1 that must finish and pass the job to center 2, which can be idle time and center 2 schedule, such as mo to siya kanang one mo construct tag Gantt chart kay magbantay kita once sa kanang atong masaypid sa kausa saypid na tanan gid. Scheduling customer often takes a form of appointment system or reservation system. So the first one is appointment system are intended to control the timing of customer arrivals in order to minimize customer waiting while achieving a high degree of capacity utilization. So kaning appointment system same ra na nga magpa-appointment ka sa doctor or any events. Next is reservation system are designed to enable service system to formulate a fairly accurate estimate of demand of the system. So kaning reservation system kay same ra ni siya sa kanang for example magpa-reserve ka sa booking sa mga restaurant, bar or any events in order para ma-less ang imong oras. So the last one is a yield management. The application of pricing strategies to allocate capacity among various categories of demand. So kaning yield management kay about siya sa pricing strategies to involves adjusting the price para maka-avail ang mga less consumer.
So, for the next topic no, which is cyclical scheduling. Ang cyclical scheduling kay usa ni siya ka effective approach para mo-determine sa pilay minimum sa worker or pila ka number ang worker nga kinahanglanon with that certain schedule or with that certain kanang operation or mo na siya cyclical scheduling. Then for example ani niya is for example a fairly simple but effective approach for determining the minimum numbers of workers needed in the following. Begin by repeating the staff needs for workers. So ari sa example number 1 makita na to diyan ang table dira naka-state ang day which is na iyang kanang day kanang Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, Saturday. So ubos ana na staff needed. So kanang number nga nasa igbaw which is kaning 2, 4, 3, 4, 6, 5 and 2, 4. So mga staff needed. So which means nga sa Monday natay 2 workers, then sa Tuesday na po tayo 4 workers, sa Wednesday natay 3 workers, sa Thursday natay 4 workers, sa Fridays 6 workers, Saturday 5, sa Sunday which is 5 again. So as nakita na as we know nakita sa table. So nakabutang diri sa example number 1, make the first worker assigned such as the 2 days with the lowest need. So lowest need kanang magbuhat ko ta og worker assignment nga 2 days nga which is kanang gamay ra siya og need nga worker. So our design our days of her Monday to Tuesday has the 2 lowest consecutive requirements. So makita nato dito nga Monday to Tuesday which is 2 to 4. So which is atong gikuan man is lowest needed or lowest need. So mo na ang gi-circulan dira which is kanang Monday to Tuesday. So then kay naman siya 2 lowest consecutive requirements. Then circle those days. Note, in some instance, Sunday Sunday to Monday might yield the two lowest days. So ang Sunday to Monday kuno pwede siya might yield into two lowest days. In case of a tie, pick the pair with the lowest adjacent requirements day to the left and day to the right. If there is still tie, pick arbitrarily. So mo to no ang gisirkulan niya diha, which is Sunday to Tuesday, kay naman siya lowest need man siya kay two workers, so then to sa 4. So next is number 2. Subtract 1 from each day's requirements. I-subtract nimo ang duha, ay i-subtract nimo ang days requirements niya, except for the circle days. Ayaw i-subtract siya pero dili pilang katong gi-circle nga days. So assign the next employee again using the two lowest consecutive days as day off. Circle those day. So dire sa natay 2, natay sa worker 2, natay sa Monday which is 2 workers, sa Tuesday which is 4, sa Wednesday which is 2 niya, sa Tuesday which is 3. So Friday which is 5, then Saturday which is 4, then Sunday which is 4 gihapon. So 9 sa worker to i-circle na to ang Wednesday ug Tuesday kay siya may gasunod nga mas lowest consecutive days siya. 2 lowest consecutive days, kay kung arita sa Monday ug Tuesday di man siya pwede kay mas nagsunod man nga mas less pa man ang 2 to 3 worker. So mo nang gi-circle na ang Wednesday ug Tuesday. So next is repeat the preceding step for example number 3, repeat the preceding step for each additional worker until all stopping requirements have been met. So imo to ibalik ang mga preceding step for each additional worker. So mag-add kag mga workers, then ang preceding step nga katong kuan nimo tong ibalik. So nata, however, don't subtract from a value of 0. So dili subtract ang value of 0. So as we can see no note the tie for worker 3. Monday to Tuesday and Sunday to Monday have the lowest consecutive requirements. So worker 3. So nata diri sa Monday to Tuesday which is the lowest consecutive requirements. So ang Sunday ug Monday kay pwede siya Sunday ug Monday which is worker 3. Pwede siya but di siya kuan tungod kay adjacent man ang pangita. So arita sa Monday ug Tuesday. So mo ni diri sa Monday ug Tuesday ang gi-circulan niya nga magamit within that kanang situation or within that worker. Mao ni ang sila may mas lowest or mas less nga consecutive requirements. So mao ni diri Monday ug Tuesday ang gi-circulan. Then for the month of Tuesday to adjacent of Sunday which is 3 and the Wednesday which is 2 for the total of 5. So 5 ang total which is less than the 2 adjacent for Sunday and Monday. Sunday and Monday. Sunday mao nila ang total niya is 5, then which is less than adjacent Sunday and Monday, Monday then sa Saturday is 3 and the Tuesday is 3 for a total of 6. So circle Monday ug Tuesday kay kuan man sa mas less man siya. Circle the Monday and Tuesday requirements for worker 3. Worker 4 also has a tie. An adjacent Saturday and Tuesday total is 5. Whereas Tuesday and Friday adjacent total is 6. So circle the Sunday and Monday. So Sunday ug Monday ang gisirkulan diri sa worker 4 kay kuan man kanang naman siya amo man siya ang 2 adjacent requirements. So mo na atong sirkulan. So same as sa worker 5. So worker 5 pod nga pilihan na nimo kung asay nagsunod nga adjacent pero lowest consecutive requirements siya. So we all know mas nakita na to diri nga sa Wednesday o Tuesday kay 0 ug 5 man. Sa Wednesday pwede ra siya di mo gamit og worker tungod kay kung basin for ready for kung ano niya sa Tuesday is to deliver na lang. So mo nang sa worker 5 sa adlaw nga Tuesday Wednesday adlaw nga Wednesday ug Tuesday atong Thursday atong gamiton. Then same as usual sa worker 6. Sa worker 6 multiple ties, daghan na siya multiple ties, but ang atong gipili lang is ang Monday ug Tuesday kay which is kanang adjacent or kuan man sa tudring gingon ha sa preceding man. So magsugod man siya sa gamay hantod sa dako mo ginay mo kung anong pilion ang preceding yun. Then motto natay gipili nga sa workers natay Monday o Tuesday. Then motto sa worker 7, for worker 7 circle Wednesday and Tuesday, or to identify Monday and Tuesday which is 0 og 0. So to identify the needs each worker is working, go across each worker the row to find the non-zero values that are not circled, then signifying the worker is assigned for 2 days. Then similarly, to find the workers who are assigned to work for any particular day, go down the days column to find the non-zero values that are not circled. Non-zero values that are not circled, which is Tuesday. Ang non-zero to find column days to find the non-zero values are not circled. Note, worker 6 will only work 4 days and worker 7 will not work. So ang sumunod na dito ang makita nato is ang upat ka 1 which is Tuesday, Thursday, Friday and Sunday mo na working day. So sa worker 7 matawag siya og wala siya nag-work kay tungod tungod 0 ang i-circulan diri nga days kay which is no working kay 0 to 0 man. So mao na to mo na example sa cyclical scheduling. Pagpili nimo sa kanang ang cyclical is to determine the minimum number of workers. Imong pilion jud kung asay mas kanang less consecutive siya or lowest needed para sa imong work imong during the trabaho or during the work. So next is scheduling multiple resources. Scheduling multiple resources refer to the process of planning, allocating and managing multiple types of resources. So kining scheduling multiple resources kay pag to process ni siya sa plano nimo mao ni diri masud ang plano which is katong first is example is construction. Magplano ka first is unsa nimo pag kining 1 week is good for kanang example na good for finishing kining second week is for painting nga mo na scheduling for multiple resources. Then allocating, i-allocate din nimo nga kini siyang imong pag-schedule kay dili ba ni siya kanang madali ra ba niya easy ra ba niya or dili ba ka malkansiya ning adlaw. Then i-manage nimo ang multiple types sa katuno ang kada usa ka step or usa ka process while you're doing the schedule kinahanglan i-manage nimo nga kanang imong work or imong gi-schedule which is mahuman nimo sa dili pa ma-end ang time or mahuman na nimo nga sa dili pa mo lapas sa imong gi-schedule nga pila ka week. So then example na ni is ang mga personnel kanang personnel, equipment, ang personnel nimo, ang equipment imo schedule or imo kanang refers or imo pag-process sa personnel, pag-process sa equipment, pag-process sa materials or time to complete task or project efficiently. Kining scheduling multiple resources dahil kay ang very important ni kay parang ma-efficient ang trabaho sa usa ka company or sa operation. Walay ka nang mahimo nga idle time tungod kay sa schedule tungod kay naman sila scheduling nga multiple resources nga sunod. Then involves organizing the ability and workload of resources to ensure that they are utilized effectively without conflicts or inefficiency. So sa akong gingon lang kung usang company nga na scheduling scheduling sa multiple resources nila makatabang na nila nga mo grow ang ilang company. So ang ilang pwede na sila mahimo na silang productivity tungod kay naka-manage or gitarong man nila pag-manage ang scheduling or nasa scheduling nga gisunod ng standard. So mao niya ako. So dire na yun ang report song. Proceed to next.
So good morning everyone. So now let's talk about the operation strategy by scheduling. So first is what and why scheduling is important. So scheduling means deciding when and how tasks and jobs will be done to make sure everything runs smoothly. It helps business save time, use resources efficiently, and satisfy customer because when a schedule can either help or can be a hindrance to the operation strategy, because if it is performed well, or if the scheduling is done well, the resources or goods and services can be made or delivered in a timely manner. Same with the resources, if the schedule is performed well, the resources will be used at advantage, where the customers will be satisfied. So if not, if the schedule will not be performed well, or it will not be used in a right or good or in a proper way, the resources will be in the inefficient. So ang resources is na efficiency, but same like po sa ang goods and services, maka-satisfied siya sa customer. So importance po sa sa scheduling operation is when there is a good scheduling, we can ensure that timely deliver of goods and services if natay good na scheduling. But if natay poor na scheduling, mo itong gigangalihan na makamit siya sa mga pag-waste or pagsayang sa atong resources. So, next is different types of scheduling system. So, different types or tulo types of scheduling system. First is high volume, next is intermediate volume, and last is low volume. So, unsa pinaka-importante ang scheduling, ano na asay types sa pag-schedule, kasi tulo ka klase ng system sa pag-schedule. So, for example, na kayo bigiri, then wala ka nagamit ng scheduling system. So, sa imong bigiri, nagluto ka pa, nagluto ka cookies, nagluto ka kung sa mananiya, maligya ka pa sa mga bigiri. If wala ka scheduling na nasunod, possible na kanang magkabukang na ka o himo o pan during peak hours, kung kano sa ang tingkusog sa pan, kano sa ang tingpalit sa mga customer na possibility na mahutdan ka, so magkabukang ka. So, diha na ito ni ang scheduling. So, nasa yung system. First is ang high volume. So, sa high volume is, this is for factories or places that make the same product effectively. So, sa high volume, ito na ng balik-balik na task or trabaho. For example, sa kumpanya sa soft drink like Coca-Cola, ang ilang machine, if ever na manufacture sa mga bottle sa Coca-Cola, natatob, if ever na ang machine ilang isip, nga kanang wala kanang orasa, kanang halawa, puro kami na pag-manufacture sa bottle sa kuwan sa mga usa sa high volume, continuous or repetitive task, sige na rin siya manufacture bottle cups. While sa intermediate volume, it is the batch production or producing goods in batches like a t-shirt in one color before switching on others. So for example, ako'y clothing manufacturer or ako'y sa clothing manufacturer na ilang machine ilang schedule na magkuhan sila, printa sila o kanang coloring na t-shirt, kanang print na buhok. So after sa kagalit na buhok, ilan sa display sa machine niya, printa sa color blue na t-shirt, balik ko lang print na buhok. So ina na ang intermediate by batch production. While sa low volume, this is for business handling customized for one kind job. So sa low volume kay, wala na siya kanang, for example, sa mga car repair shop, mga sasakyanan, mga ayuanan sa sasakyanan. So, i-schedule ang each car na nagpaayo na lang ay customer na nagpaayo sa ilang brake, so or engine. So kato siya, katong pag-ato sa shop, nasa specific na ipahimo or paayo dito sa shop, like brake or engine or pag-change oil. So next is why is job shop scheduling challenging. So anong challenging kini ang job shop scheduling. So in low volume system like job shops, every job is different and it's hard to organize everything efficiently. Okay? For example, mga tanggingon gina sa car shop, if inikala sa customer, if lahi ang Pagka customer ang ato karon niya, like lahi o tuyo o tumong sa pagpaayo. So lisod kayo pag schedule kanos ana na to unsa kinsa tunahon, kinsa iyawahe, ingana. So mga na two main challenges. So first is job assignment. It is deciding which job goes to which machine or person. So mutag-tag ako pag sa job assignment, mutag-tag pag sa sakyanan anak na repair shop is yang bubas yang sakyanan is sa engine. So i-assign na siya dito sa tao or sa mechanics na expert sa engine. Hindi siya pwede ato sa mechanics na expert sa electrical, kundi naka-specific, ito siya mo ng job assignment. Kana na job, ato na assign sa asa siya na fit. So next is sequencing, deciding the order in which jobs are done. So for example, kana ng car, ambulance, ang usa private, ang usa kay for transportation, public transportation. So kana mag-decide na if asa yung unahon, iya ang sa issue sa brake, nasa engine, nasa suka. So diha na solve ang sequencing if i-decide nila if inside unang ayaw na nalang dulog. Like unahon ba sa brakes, kaya nila, and then sa lights, or sa engine. So yung ang paang sa sequencing. So, natay tools na ginamit to solve scheduling problems. First is Gantt chart. So, it is a simple chart showing which way each job starts again. So, sa Gantt chart ay buntag na lang sa bakery. Ang bakery, kinahanglan start siya ang alas 8 to alas 10 paghimo sa kining pan. While ang cookies mo kada alas 10 to alas 11 niya ang cake kay from 11 to 1 p.m. So, ina na sa chart siya, kung sa siya kanang specific task or trabaho, kung sa siya buhaton, then ang next na sa ako until month. So, next is the heuristic method. So, quick rules for making schedule. So, matanggal lang sa kanang hospital law na mag-prioritize sila sa patients in terms sa urgency or sa need na. Like, ang pinaka-critical nga sa pasyente ko yung unahon. So, mga ang masunod sa heuristic method. So, for example, itong tuloy ka sa kiyanan, ambulance, private vehicle, public transportation nga sa kiyanan, ang unahon ka to ambulance kayo mo, kinigit siya. So, mga ito nga, malay masunod sa heuristic methods. Gamiton siya for like urgency, yan na, maninalian. So next is optimization methods. So optimization methods kaya kung asa siya mas dali ba? Kung asa siya mas dali nga matanda lang delivery truck, asa siya marot dali siya makagi. So next is so this is our key points. So the key points is our scheduling, of course, in every business or organization. Next is scheduling decisions are made within constraints. Next is scheduling decisions of course just prior to the conversation. Then lastly is effective scheduling can reduce cost and increase productivity. So of course, there is a effective scheduling can reduce cost and increase productivity. So gamit yung tayo scheduling. So next is solve problems. So that ay example problems na sa laro. So mga the assignment method, the following table contains information to the cost to run 3 jobs. 3 jobs on 4 available machine. Determine an assignment plan that will minimize cost. So natay sa pang assignment method na problem, natay ulo ka jobs na ay machine nga available na pagkabo. So hindi siya equal, diba? So paano sila? Antipod. So we have job 1, 2, and 3 while we have machine A, B, C, and D. So like the problem said, natay pa na machine while we only have 3 jobs. So in order for us to be able to use the assignment method, the numbers of jobs and machines must be equal. So sa assignment method, para magamit na ang assignment method, dapat ang number sa job of machine is equal. So since we only have 3 jobs and 4 machines, we need to add a dummy job that only equals 0. So since 3 jobs na sila, so we need to add a dummy job so that it will be equal to the number of machine. So mga ito of dummy. So this is our dummy job. So job number 4 and is 0 cost since dummy naman siya. So so dami, malata ang job 4. So next is subtract the smallest number from each row. The results are, so this is our first table na wala pa natin subtract. So it states there that subtract the smallest number from each row. So since the smallest number in this row, so since the number it states there that subtract the smallest number from each row. So this is our first table. Nga wala ka na subtract. So we need to subtract the smallest number in each row. So since the smallest number in this row the jump one is, this one is number is 10. We need to subtract 10 and 12. So 12 minus 10 is equal to 2. Then 10, 16 minus 10 is 6. 13 minus 10 is 4. So we only need to subtract the smallest number in each row. So after we subtracted the smallest number in each row, we get this result. So the result is we only have 2 cost in jump 1 for machine A, while 6 cost in machine B, and so on, like in machine C and D. So we already have the result after subtracting all those smallest number in each row. So next is so since in this dummy jump, it has all zeros. So the result of the jump or the dummy jump is still the same. So next is determine the minimum number of lines needed to cross out a zero. So we need to determine the lines, number of lines needed to cross out a zero. So since sa jump for sa dummy jump is naglalagay sa zero, ato siya yun na cross. Wala. So next is to find another lines na needed to cross out ng zeros. So if there is a part, since yung zero is start of both getting a row, so we need to find another line na nasa naging zero. So alin sa taas na column. So sa machine C, it has 2 zeros, so we need to cross this. And in machine D, it also has 2 zeros, so we need to cross it also. So now we already have the result after crossing G 0. So sabi it's better than G because the number of line is less than the number of rows multiplied the number. So as we can see, the number of lines is not equal, diba? Hindi siya equal. So ang number sa rows na ang rows out is hindi siya equal sa tulo. Kaya sa tulo, ang rows out nito is doable, while sa row is sarap. So it has zero that subtract the smallest uncovered number from each uncovered number. So this area is our uncovered number. Kaya wala siya na-cross out. So this is our uncovered number. So subtract the smallest uncovered number. So the smallest uncovered number here is the 1. So we need to subtract all the uncovered numbers. So 2 minus 1, 6 minus 1, 2 minus 1, 6 minus 1, and 3 minus 1. So and then add the smallest uncovered number to number at lines intersection. The result is, so after subtracting, 2 will become 1 and 6 will become 5 because we will subtract it in 1. Then 2 will become 1 also, and 6 will become 5 and 3 will be 2. Also the 1, the smallest number, will have new value which is 0 because 1 minus 1 is 0. So since nga manalo ko siya mga boss, nakita na kung row na ay 0, so ato siya equals out. So this one, since it has 2 zeros, so equal na. So because the number of lines is less than the number of rows, so this one also, because the minimum number of lines equals the number of rows, so nag-equal na siya ang number of lines. So, ang optimum assignment can be made. So, pwede na itong mabuhat na optimum assignment. No? So, next is assign job to machines. Start with row 1 and 3 since they have 1, 0. And column A and C also with 1, 0 each. After its assignment, it out all the numbers in that row and column. So, the result is we have this. Since in the column of machine A, nasa isa na 0, so ato sa i-highlight same sa column B at column C o ang direct sa column A. Stop sa column. So we forgot about that. We need to add the smallest uncovered number. So the uncovered number last time is 1. So to the line intersection. So since this part is not intersect, so after i-add ang smallest number which is 1. So the 0 will become 1 and 1. So this so there is an intersect. So nanay 1 here. So proceed tayo sa next step. So Mao to na mo siya ato sa specify asa siya nga zero. So notice there is only one assignment in each row and only one assignment in each column. So the machine A and the job 4 only has one job, while the machine B in job 2 only have one job, and also the machine 3 in job 3, machine C in job 3, and the machine D in job 1. So they all have one assignment in each column. So next is, so this one, notice that there's only one assignment in each row, but only one assignment in each column. So compute total cost referring to the original table. So ato na siya kuan mag-add. So sa kuan sa job 1 sa D, ang ato ang cost niya, atong total cost sa job 1 kay ato siya sa assignment. So ang atong total cost niya sa job 1 is equal to 10. While si job 2 nasa yung total cost na 8. While 3 sa job 3 nasa yung total cost na 9. While job 4 is 0. So since nga nakuha na nato, mga siya answer. So pagkatapos na yan, itong 0 ang job 4 is because the implication of assignment 4A is that machine A will not be assigned a job if A remain idle or be used for another job. So standby na si assignment 4A kay hindi siya gawin sa another job. So kasi siya hindi ito. So next is the problem 2, which is job times. Stop there. So now let's proceed to the problem 2. So in problem 2 is we have the priority roles, which is the job times, including processing and setup, are shown in the following table for jobs waiting to be processed at a work center. So we have job A, B, C, D, and E. So we have 5 jobs. While we have job time in hours and also in the due date in hours format. So next is the determine the processing sequence that would result from each of these priority roles. A is SPT and B is ADD. So SPT is the it means the shorter processing time, while the ADD is the early due date. So we need to determine the processing sequence using that. And next is assumed job times are independent of processing sequence. So job time nato kay 12, 6, 14, 3, and 7, while sa processing order is 4, 2, 5, 1, and 3. Also sa Jupika. So pagkuha sa processing order is divide this na tanan sa job time o kag 3. So 3 divided by 12 is 4, 3 divided by 6 is 2, 14 divided by 3 is 5, and we need to run off the answer. We don't need to put a decimal answer in the processing order. So like this one, 7 divided by 3 divided by 3 is 1. So also sa kini nga part diri sa processing order, pagkuha dia is i-divide nato ang RDO sa 5. So 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 4 divided by 5 is 5 kay di off. Then 20 divided by 5 is 4. So next is mga pagkuha sa processing order sa job time o sa RDO. So priority roles nato is problem 3 using the job times and due dates from solved problem 2. Determine each of the following performance measured for first come first serve. So natay assume job listed in order of arrival. So we have a mixed span. We need to get the mixed span, the average flow time, average tardiness, and average number of jobs at the workstation. So one is job flow time, ang job lengthness, job tardiness, and mixed span. So what is job flow time today? So one is siya ang ato ang gitawag na kung anong total time ang job na system. So, for example, sa job flow time, ato kang Jollibee. Pag ato na kang Jollibee is nilinya ka o mga 2 minutes. Then after na ito paglinya, naka-order na ta, nag-process na ito ang order o mga 5 minutes. So, nakalingkod na, kay paabot sa itong order. While na nahuman na itong order, nag-deliver sa tuwa, ni-take time na sa 1 minute. So, gikan sa 2 minutes nga paglinya, 5 minutes nga pag-process o 1 minute nga paghatod sa pagkaon nito si mga or mga order, ni-take ta o total time na 8. So, muna ang 8 minutes. So, muna ang job flow time. Ang total time gikan sa imong pag-adto anang pag-arrive nimo anang lugar until sa pagkuha mo sa imong order o receipt. So same like sa production kanusta na abot ang materials o kanusta na siya nahuman. So mo na ang sa flow time ang total time. So sa job lateness po, for example, nag-order kang pizza nya ang giingon nga maabot ang pizza is 8:30. Yan, abot siya unay. So, yung job lateness is 30 minutes. So, since sa job tiredness, kung pila sa oras naabot or na-late mo ang order, masa na ang tardiness. So, sa next part is mabalik na dito sa Jollibee. Itong example yun sa flow time. Ang next part is ang pagbuhat para sa mga order. So, what ang gingon nga 5 minutes ang pagbuhat sa order, so mao na yung next part ang pagbuhat sa imong order. So, balik ka sa katong problem. So, we have the job time of 12, 6, 14, 3, and 7. While the flow time is to get the flow time is you just need to put the job time first in the flow time. So, just copy the 12 and 12. Then next is add the flow time to the second job time. So 12 plus 6 is equal to 18, 18 plus 14 is equal to 32, and 32 plus 3 is 35, and 35 plus 7 is 42. Then get the total of your flow time, you get 139. So same like sa our job. We need to subtract the flow time and our job. So, 12 minus 50, since it is negative 3, we need to put the r star d in 0. Dita mabutang o negative. So, 0 lang ay butang, basta ma-negative siya. So, 18 minus 24 still negative result. We need to put 0. Then, 32 minus 20 is we have 12. 35 minus 8, we have 27, and 32 minus 6, we have 36, and the total and result is 75. So that's how you get the flow time and the r star d. So, in next one, the next one there is equal to 42. Manang 42 man, kitungod sa ato ang job time. So, sa job time na ito, ikuha na ito, or the plus na ito sa tanan, 12 plus 6 plus 14 plus 3 plus 7 is equal to 42 hours. So that's our expanding total job time na to. So 42 hours. So ang average flow time na to, how to get the average flow time is the total flow time over number of jobs. So since ito ang total flow time here is 139, i-divide na to siya sa number of jobs. So natay job A, B, C, D, E, 5 jobs. So 139 divided by 5, we get 27.80 hours in our average flow time. So, average tardiness. So, total hours tardy over number of jobs. Same ra, over number of jobs. No? So, ato ang total hours tardy here is 75. So, 75 divided by 5 is we get 15 hours of average tardiness. Also here, the average number of jobs at workstation, we have a total flow time which is 139 divided by the next one of 42, we get 3.31. So, ngayon na pagkuha ang average flow time, ang next one, and average tardiness, and average number of jobs at workstation. So, mga na yung formula of insaan pagkuha. So next is using the following information determine an order processing sequence. Using the priority role. So, the rate is natay order nga A, B, C, D, nga processing time remaining in days, we have 20, 11, 10, 16, and so on. So, assumed times are independent of processing sequence. So, ato ang order ABCD at the remaining processing time, due date, slot, number of operation, ratio, at ang sequence. So, there is since given naman ni ang paano ang remaining processing time of due date, ang atong pangutana dati unsa na to pagkuha ang slot. So, to get this slot, we need to subtract the remaining processing time and the due date. So, our due date subtracted by remaining processing time. So, 30 minus 20, we get 10. 18 minus 11, we have 7. 6 minus 10, negative 4. And 23 minus 16 is 7. So, that's how we get the slot. Just subtract the due date and the remaining processing time. So next is the number of operations. So we have, since number of operation is given here, so pag-abot na rin, ato na sa copy after sa slot, then ang ratio na to given sa pagkuha. Since di man given ang ratio, so ang ratio is divide the slot by the number of operations. So 10 divided by 2, we have 5. 7 divided by 5, we have 1.40. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. And 7 divided by 4 is 1.75. So just divide the slot and the number of operations to get the ratio. So in our rank sequence, we can rank the sequence by determining which has the lowest value. So since the order C has the lowest value of a negative 2, so it ranks first, followed by the order B, which is 1.40, and followed by the 1.75 that rank third, and the lastly is the 5 in order A that has the rank 4. So note that one ratio is negative. When negative occur, assign the lowest rank to the most negative number. So that's why we rank first in the order C, because it has negative 2. So next is sequencing job toward centers. Use Johnson's rules to obtain optimum sequence. So auto ganyan ang natay job A, B, C, D, E. So work sa job times R. So natay work center A and work center B. So these are his values. So and the first problem is identify the smallest time in job B. So the smallest time in job B is 1.50. So that's why we put the 1.50 here, because the time is for B. So the smallest time in job B is 1.50. Next is the next smallest time job E. So smallest time sa job E is 2. So 2. And identify the smallest remaining time job. So we have to wait 20 hours at center A. Then since the time is in the A column, schedule job C first at this point. So we just need to have the basis here in the job times and hours. So just make it your basis in determining the smallest time in each job or in each center. So that's how you get it. So that's all. Thank you.